Did you know that constant burning sensation, that annoying heartburn that appears even after light meals, could be more than just a temporary discomfort? That's right. Few talk about it, but frequent heartburn can be one of the early signs of something much more serious: cancer. What many people ignore, thinking it's just a digestive issue, may actually be the body trying to alert you to something serious. Have you ever imagined that this stomach discomfort could be a silent warning of something deeper? The truth is that many people spend years trying to treat the symptoms with antacids or home remedies without ever considering the real cause of the problem. And that's where the danger lies. Wouldn't it be amazing if, instead of masking the symptom, you could address the cause once and for all? The good news is that there is a way to identify these early signs and take care of your health before it's too late. What few know is that this burning sensation could be one of the first indications of cancer in the esophagus, stomach, or even throat. And the sooner you understand what your body is telling you, the faster you can take action to protect yourself. Want to find out how to identify if your heartburn is more than just a common digestive discomfort? Keep watching, and I will show you what no one is telling you. There are moments when fatigue seems to wrap around us and not let go. The type of fatigue caused by cancer is like that, but much more intense. It doesn't go away with a good night's sleep or a quick breather. The cancer cells are there, sucking energy from the body, like invisible parasites, leaving the person drained. You know that feeling of exhaustion after a long day at work? Imagine that multiplied by 10. That's the level of fatigue that is concerning. The problem is that people often ignore this symptom. I'm just stressed, they think. But when the fatigue becomes so heavy that even simple tasks, like getting out of bed or making a cup of coffee, feel impossible, it's time to pay attention. Sometimes, the body is trying to warn you of something more serious. And this is where the importance of listening to these early signs comes in. When energy disappears like this, the recommendation is to seek medical help. There's no magic formula to solve the problem overnight. However, small lifestyle changes can help combat fatigue. Something as simple as maintaining a regular routine of light activities, like short walks, can make a difference. This is because, despite the intense fatigue, moving the body can help recover a bit of energy. But of course, that's not all. Extreme fatigue may be accompanied by other signs, such as unexplained weight loss or changes in the skin. These small details can be crucial for detecting cancer before it advances. So, don't ignore the signs. Feeling fatigue that doesn't go away with rest could be the start of an investigation that might save your life. Sometimes, that persistent fatigue might be the only warning your body gives. So, if you or someone you know is experiencing this endless exhaustion, it's a good idea to talk to a doctor. And this brings us to another point that often goes unnoticed: unusual bleeding. When the body starts showing strange signs, like unexplained bleeding, it's an alarm that cannot be ignored. Unusual bleeding can manifest in different ways, from a small blood spot while brushing your teeth to something more serious, like blood in the stool or urine. Often, this is linked to milder conditions, such as an infection, but it can be one of the first early signs of cancer in areas like the colon, rectum, or even the kidneys. The fact is that most people don't pay much attention to these kinds of signs. It was just once. It can't be anything, they often say. But this thinking can delay the diagnosis of something much more serious. For example, frequent bleeding gums might be linked to something more serious, like a blood condition. And this is how cancer, in its early stage, goes unnoticed. The body tries to warn us, but the signal is ignored. If you notice this type of symptom, the best course of action is to see a doctor as soon as possible. Investigating the cause of the bleeding is crucial, even if it seems insignificant. Early detection can literally save lives. There are simple tests, like colonoscopies, that can identify tumors causing bleeding in the digestive system, preventing the disease from advancing. The sooner it's discovered, the simpler the treatment. Let's consider a practical example. Imagine you notice a small, frequent nosebleed. If ignored, it may seem minor, but it's a sign that something may not be right. The body always communicates, and this type of symptom can be one of the clearest clues that something is wrong. After all, unusual bleeding doesn't just happen for no reason. If there's one thing we learn throughout life, it's that the body is wise. It never does anything without reason. And when something like persistent bleeding occurs, wisdom lies in acting quickly. This brings us to another symptom that can be even more visible and, at times, even more neglected: the presence of a lump or mass. The feeling of finding a lump somewhere on your body can be frightening. It's natural that upon noticing something strange, the first reaction is fear. However, it's exactly this type of sign that can make the difference between detecting cancer early or allowing it to progress. A lump or mass that appears suddenly and doesn't go away needs to be taken seriously. This type of symptom is one of the clearest when we talk about early signs of cancer, and any new nodule should be examined by a doctor. Often, people hesitate to seek help, thinking that it's probably nothing, but this is one of those situations where probably can be costly. Think of it as an initial warning, a chance that your body is giving you to investigate what's going on. For example, many women who discover lumps in their breasts end up finding out they are in the early stages of breast cancer. The good news? Detecting the disease at this stage greatly increases the chances of a cure. Another important point to understand is that not every lump is necessarily a sign of cancer. It could be something benign, like a cyst or a fatty nodule. But without proper examination, you'll never know for sure. So, if you feel any new bump, don't put it off. Scheduling a medical appointment is the first step. It might be a quick routine check, but it offers invaluable peace of mind. Now, imagine the following. You notice a small lump on your neck that appeared suddenly and hasn't decreased over time. It doesn't hurt, but it's always there. What would you do? Ignore it or schedule an appointment. It's at this moment that many people make the wrong choice. However, acting quickly is essential. Remember that every minute counts, and any delay could complicate the situation. This is the type of symptom that should not be underestimated. However, lumps are not the only sign. There are others that sometimes manifest in different ways, such as difficulty swallowing. Feeling like something is stuck in your throat or noticing that swallowing simple foods, like water or bread, has become difficult may seem harmless at first. However, difficulty swallowing, known as dysphagia, is a symptom that should not be ignored. This issue can be related to various conditions, including certain types of cancer, such as in the esophagus, throat, or even the stomach. Discomfort may start subtly but can become persistent over time. Often, people think this is just a result of poor digestion or stress. After all, who hasn't felt choked up after a hurried meal? But if this difficulty becomes frequent, it could be a sign of something more serious. Cancer cells may be causing blockages or irritations in the food passage, making swallowing challenging. It's essential to pay attention to this early sign and seek medical advice if the symptom persists longer than usual. A practical tip for those experiencing this is to keep a food diary. Write down when you feel the difficulty, what you were eating or drinking, and how the symptom manifested. This is very helpful when discussing with a doctor, as it provides a clearer picture of how the problem is evolving. If swallowing liquids is also difficult, it may indicate something more advanced and should not be delayed. The tests to diagnose this type of condition are relatively simple and quick, and they can prevent future complications. Now, imagine someone is having trouble swallowing solid foods, and instead of seeing a doctor, they decide to try drinking more liquids. This provides temporary relief, but the problem persists. Here lies the danger. The symptom doesn't go away on its own. Often, the cause is much more complex, and only a specialized exam can reveal what's really going on. If difficulty swallowing continues, it's crucial to act and not ignore it. Of course, we're not just talking about swallowing, as the body also sends other signals. For example, changes in the skin may indicate that something else is at play. The skin is the largest organ in the body and often acts as a mirror for our internal health. Sudden changes in color, texture, or the appearance of spots and moles can be an important warning that something more serious is happening. When it comes to cancer, especially skin cancer, it's common for small details to be overlooked. A simple darkening, a spot that grows, or a mole that changes shape can be one of the first manifestations of the disease. Many believe that because they live in milder climates or do not expose themselves much to the sun, they are out of danger. However, skin cancer can develop in areas that are not always directly exposed to sunlight, such as the soles of the feet or between the toes. Therefore, it's crucial to have regular checkups, even if you don't notice anything immediately. A monthly self-exam can also help identify early signs, and any changes should be evaluated by a dermatologist. Let's consider a practical example. Imagine you notice a small dark spot on your back that seems to have grown over the past few months. At first, it may not seem concerning. After all, spots are common. But if it's increasing in size, changing color, or has irregular borders, it's a clear sign that you need to see a doctor. The ABCD rule for spots: asymmetry, border irregularity, color, diameter, and evolution, is a great resource to assess whether a skin change deserves more attention. Observing your own skin and scheduling an appointment with a dermatologist are simple habits that can save your life. And if you haven't done so yet, take the opportunity to subscribe to the channel for more tips on how to take care of your health and stay alert to early signs of disease. Turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. But of course, changes in the skin are not the only important sign. There are others, such as changes in bowel habits, that also deserve your attention. Our bowel habits say a lot about our health, and any unexpected change can be a warning sign. The body has its own routine, and when it changes without an apparent reason, it can indicate that something more serious is happening. Cancers of the digestive system, such as colon or rectal cancer, often cause changes in bowel habits. If you suddenly experience frequent diarrhea or constipation that persists, it's important not to ignore it. Often, people do not associate this type of symptom with cancer. "It's just something I ate," they say. And of course, that could be true. However, when the changes last for weeks, it's crucial to seek medical advice. Another sign to watch for is the shape of your stools. Thin stools, like a pencil, can indicate that something is obstructing the intestine, which can also be an early symptom of cancer. Paying attention to these details can be key to detecting a problem before it worsens. One practical change you can make is to note how your bowel habits are. Yes, it may seem strange at first, but keeping a record of how your digestion is can be extremely helpful. If you notice a significant change that persists, you'll have detailed information to present to your doctor. This greatly aids in early diagnosis, especially in cases of digestive cancer. Now, think of an example. A person who has always had regular bowel movements starts to notice that they need to go to the bathroom more frequently, or conversely, they go days without a bowel movement. Without a clear explanation, these changes are important signs. Remember that if ignored, these small symptoms can evolve into something more serious. Intestinal health is one of the pillars of overall well-being, and when something is wrong there, the body often reacts in various ways. And it doesn't stop there. Along with these changes often comes an immediate concern: unexplained weight loss. Let's delve deeper into that next. Losing weight effortlessly may seem like a dream for many, but when weight loss occurs inexplicably, it's time to pay attention. If the numbers on the scale suddenly start dropping, and you haven't made any significant changes to your diet or exercise routine, it could be an early sign that something is happening in your body. Cancers, such as those of the pancreas, stomach, esophagus, and lung, often cause rapid and unexplained weight loss. It's easy to ignore this symptom. Many people even feel happy about unexpected weight loss, thinking it might reflect a healthier lifestyle. But when this weight loss is accompanied by fatigue, changes in the skin, or other signs, it's essential to investigate further. Cancer cells consume a lot of energy, and the body responds by burning fat and muscle to try to keep functioning. The problem is that when this happens, the body is losing more than it should. A practical example could be that friend who suddenly lost weight without changing anything in their routine. Everyone praises their new physique, but they feel more tired than ever. It may seem like a coincidence, but this is one of the subtlest ways the body warns that something is not right. If you or someone you know is experiencing unexplained weight loss, consulting a doctor is the best option. Additionally, it's important to monitor whether the weight loss is accompanied by other symptoms, such as persistent pain or difficulty swallowing. These combined signs can indicate deeper issues, and if identified early, treatment can be much more effective. Keeping a record of weight over time, along with other symptoms, is a simple yet powerful practice. Now, when it comes to health, unexplained weight loss is just one piece of the puzzle. Another important factor is persistent pain, which often goes hand in hand with other symptoms and cannot be ignored. Pain is one of those sensations that the body uses to signal that something is wrong. Everyone experiences pain from time to time, whether from an injury, a muscle strain, or even an occasional headache. But when this pain persists for weeks, even without an apparent cause, it can be a warning sign. Many types of cancer manifest through chronic and persistent pain that does not respond to conventional treatments like pain relievers or anti-inflammatories. One of the biggest mistakes people make is normalizing this type of pain. It's just back pain. It must be my age, they say. However, persistent pain in the back, bones, or abdomen can indicate something much more serious, such as cancer in the bones, liver, or lungs. Continuous pain that does not improve is a clear way for the body to indicate that something deeper is happening. If you notice that a pain lingers and does not decrease over time, it's time to seek a specialist. The pain doesn't need to be unbearable to be a concerning sign. Even mild but persistent pain can be a symptom that something isn't right. Imagine someone who suddenly starts feeling a slight pain in their ribs. It appears out of nowhere, is uncomfortable but bearable. The person ignores it and continues with their routine. But this pain intensifies and, over time, becomes part of their daily life. When they finally decide to seek help, it may be too late. Don't let this happen. If the pain doesn't go away, it's important to take action. Something as simple as keeping a pain diary, noting when it occurs, its intensity, and whether anything exacerbates or alleviates it, can greatly assist the doctor in making a diagnosis. Persistent pain is a red flag that, when taken seriously, can save lives. Just as pain is a clear signal, wounds that do not heal can also be another important warning. When the body gets injured, it naturally begins the healing process. However, if a wound takes longer than normal to heal or simply does not heal, it can be a warning sign. Wounds that do not close can be a symptom of cancer, especially in the skin, but also in other parts of the body. Cancers can impede the body from regenerating properly, causing a sort of blockage in the natural healing process. Sometimes, this wound is nothing more than a small cut or scratch, something that would normally have healed by now. But if the wound remains open, or if new injuries begin to appear for no reason, it's time to pay attention. Skin cancer, for example, can manifest as wounds that bleed or scab but never fully heal. The same applies to mouth ulcers or internal wounds that are not visible but can be detected by symptoms like pain or bleeding. Now, imagine you have a small cut on your leg that simply won't improve. You try everything, ointments, bandages, but the wound stubbornly remains open. This could be the body trying to tell you that something is wrong. When a wound doesn't heal, the recommendation is always to seek medical help. And this should not be delayed, especially if accompanied by other symptoms, such as changes in the skin or persistent pain. It's important to understand that the body has a natural healing time. When this time is exceeded, especially without an apparent explanation, action must be taken. Even a seemingly harmless wound can be a sign that something more serious is happening internally. And, as with other symptoms, early detection is crucial. Paying attention to wounds that don't heal can be the difference between a simple treatment and something much more complicated in the future. So, when a wound persists, the body is sending a clear warning. It's in these small details that we can notice early signs, leading us to seek help before it's too late. But this is just one of the many ways the body communicates. There is much more to explore. Now that you know the signs your body gives and how they can indicate something more serious, the question is, what will you do with this knowledge? Will you continue to ignore the symptoms, or will you start paying more attention to the clues your body is sending you? Small changes can make all the difference. If you've noticed that something isn't right, the time to act is now. The decision to take care of your health starts with you. And since we're talking about better caring for the body and identifying early signs, did you know that keeping your kidneys healthy is crucial for the body's balance? If you haven't watched it yet, take a moment to check out the video, Detox Your Kidneys Now with these 3 fruits and feel the vitality returning. In it, you'll discover how these simple fruits can help boost your energy and improve your well-being, complementing everything we've discussed here about being attentive to your body's signals. So, tell me, have you noticed any of these signs in yourself or someone you know? Comment below, share your questions and experiences, and let's talk more about it. And of course, if you want to keep learning how to better care for your health and identify other early signs, Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any new content. And don't forget to watch our latest video, where we discuss another topic that is equally important for your health. What are you waiting for? Your life can change with just one click.